dakika 19 baada ya saa 12 Afrika Mashariki. Asante sana kwa kukubali kusalia nasi. Tumeketi kitako taratibu ili nao upate kusikiliza kutoka kwa mtaalamu anayefahamu sana kuhusiana na masuala ya nondo hariri.
All right, and in case you're just joining us today, our focus is on the rearing of silkworms to produce silk, which is a very luxurious fabric that we all love for those fancy outfits that we like to wear. Now, to shed more light on this sector, we do have the privilege of being joined by Dr. Nelly Ndungu, who is an expert when it comes to sericulture. Yes. Thank you so very much for making time to be with us today.
Thank you.
Now, just jumping straight into the sector of sericulture, it's not very big in Kenya, but yes, we understand countries like China, Japan, India are very huge with
yes,
it.
Yes.
As a woman, as Dr. Nelly, what led you to that space and how has your experience been so far?
Okay, as a lady and as a woman, and also growing up in the village, I was fascinated about insects. And later, after university, I got a master's attachment and degree at ISIPE, doing project there. Then with the time, I grew the interest, and we have to take leadership in these industries to introduce them in Kenya and in Africa. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Sasa mimi ni mdogo na mkulima ambaye ningependa sana kuingia katika ukulima wa nondo hariri au silkworm. Ni nini hasa nahitaji ndio nianze ukulima wenyewe?
Okay. Sasa ndio mkulima aanze. The first thing the farmer needs is to get the training. Yeah. To get the training, we do the trainings at ISIPE. We train individual farmers, group of farmers. We also train private companies. Yeah, we train them there. That's the first thing. Then the second thing, the farmer needs at least a minimum of a quarter an acre of land. In a quarter an acre of land, the farmer can plant about 1,500 plants of mulberries. And if they are rearing airy silkworms, you remember you have two types of silkworms. We have bobics, mori, and airy. So bobics, mori, they feed on mulberries. Huh? In a quarter an acre, you can plant about 1,500 plants of mulberries and 1,000 plants of castor plants, which is fed on airy. So they need a quarter an acre. Then the other thing they need is a house, just a simple house, construct using the local materials, like a mud house thatched with grass, and also the house should be well ventilated, yeah? Then the environment inside there, the temperature should be between 25 to 27 degrees centigrade, and a humidity of about 65 to 80%.
Great.
Then the other thing they need is mountages where the silkworms are going to spin, or just simple materials like dry banana leaves. And also they need baskets for harvesting the very simple. Yeah.
Now you've mentioned trainings. Yes. There's a farmer who's probably in a very remote area and they want to be part of the training. How do you offer your trainings? Do you have to do them physically, or also we can use the digital means to make sure that you're training people all across the country?
Okay, first of all, I would like to say that sericulture is a hands-on training. Yeah. So what we do as ISIPE, we offer trainings in ISIPE. Farmers one day awareness, they can come and see if they really like it. If they are interested, we go ahead with 1 week training, but we can also move to the farms and do the trainings there. Yeah, so we are very flexible.
Great.
Yes, and if they have more questions, we can follow up with them. Yeah.
Ukizungumza kuhusiana na mulberry na vile vile castor, kuna mtazamaji ambaye angependa kweli kuingia, lakini anashindwa atakwenda wapi apate, tuseme kwa mfano mbegu au mmea huu ili ya kwenda pande katika shamba lake?
Okay. Ndio upate the mulberry cuttings, we also give the farmers at ISIPE the cuttings. We have almost 5 varieties of mulberries. So we advise farmers on which variety to plant. For example, the Ebu variety is very good in dry areas. Then for the airy silkworms, the castor plants are readily available even in the bush. But we can also help the farmers with the seeds.
Right.
Yes. So after training, we do give the farmers the cuttings.
Right.
Yeah.
Our primary focus is to save our environment, to
Yes.
make sure that what we're doing is helping fight climate change effects, all right? So we'd like for you to expound for us with sericulture. What effect does this system have to our environment when it comes to doing good today for a better tomorrow? What can you expound on that?
Okay, thank you. First of all, the mulberry plants for the Bobix mori and the castor plants for the airy silkworms, when we plant them, they help in absorbing carbon in the environment, yeah? And when they absorb carbon, they reduce the contents, and so reduce greenhouse gases in the environment. So they help in combating these climate change things, yeah? Because of these greenhouse effects. Then number two, the airy plants or the castor plants can be able to be planted in the arid and semi-arid areas. And you know, most of these semi-arid areas are, you know, there's no plant cover. So they provide the plant cover, thus maintaining the soil integrity and also preventing soil erosion. The other thing is that during processing of the cocoon to get the clothing, the wastewaters are high in a protein called sericin. And this protein, when it is disposed into the system of water, can be hazardous to the organisms that are living there. So ICIPE is coming up with a procedure of extracting this sericin. It's a very good product. It's a high-value product that can be used in cosmetics and also in pharmaceutical industries. So we are trying to make sure that our environment is safe for the human and for plants and animals.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, when you mention mulberry and the fact that it takes in the greenhouse gases, all right, proving that it's safe to our environment, but is it the only option when it comes to feeding our silkworms? Do we have any other option? And is it sustainable? Is the whole sericulture system sustainable with this mulberry and the process that we're using?
Okay. For the Bobix mori, the only plants they feed on is mulberry. But what I can say is that there are very different varieties of mulberry, and I can say it is sustainable because it's a drought-resistant plant. For example, I mentioned about the Embu variety. Yeah. For the castor plants, they grow in various climate conditions, so it's something that is sustainable.
All right.
Yes.
Great.
Turejee shuleni tena. Kuna yule mkulima ambaye ameamua atajitosa katika ulingo huu ama ukulima huo wa sericulture.
Yes.
Lakini hata nikitembea nikaona mmejenga. Sasa wakati wa kujenga ndio uamue kwamba watakaa hapa, watakwenda huku, kwa sababu naona kuna life cycle. Atafuata utaratibu gani?
Okay. Mkulima akitaka kuestablish sericulture house ama sericulture, anahitaji nyumba ambayo akijenga ile nyumba, ndani ya hiyo nyumba kuwe na beds mahali ataweka hao silkworms. Na environment ikuwe the temperatures between 25 to 27, humidity of 80%, yeah? And then with the training, we offer the trainings in ICIPE, they can be able to manage the silkworms. The other thing is sanitizing the area where the silkworms are being reared. For example, the Bobix mori is very sensitive, so they have to keep sanitizing, maybe using 2% formalin or something like that. Yeah, and very high hygienic standards. Yes.
I'm still stuck there where we are talking about saving our environment and making sure our practices are very eco-friendly.
Yes.
Now that we still do have that wastewater that is being released, before we have that technology that is safe, how best are we disposing that water or treating it so that we make sure as we release it, there's very minimal negative effects to our environment, because as it is, that wastewater is there.
Yeah. So for for Kenya, there is no much production of silk so far. Yeah. But what we are trying to do is, before we go to the large-scale production, we make sure that our farmers have ways of extracting sericin so that they don't release it into the environment. Yeah.
Is that a process that is already underway, or are we waiting until we get there and then start looking for that process?
No, ISIPA is already doing the research for sericin.
Okay.
Yeah. We have also characterized the sericin in terms of the component, and we have realized that it has antioxidant, antibacterial activities, and therefore can be incorporated in the production of creams, skin products, cosmetics, and also some of sericin from the wild silkworms. You know, we also have wild silkworms. Apart from the Bobix mori and eri, we have those ones that are in the wild. They have not been domesticated. For example, gonometa and anafipada in Kakamega. Gonometa, you get it in Wingia. So for those ones, we make sure that at least they are well conserved. Yes.
Okay. Great.
Kuna castor na mulberry, si ndio?
Yes.
Wakati mwingine mimea hiyo ukutwa na magonjwa. Je, magonjwa hayo yanaweza kumba nondo hariri au silkworm?
Asante kwa hiyo swali. Kusema ukweli, hakuna ugonjwa ya castor ama ya mulberry ambayo inakuwa transferred kwa silkworms. The only thing is that the feed for the silkworm will not be of good quality. However, right now I can say for mulberry, the major disease that affects mulberry is called powdery mildew. Yeah. Haina dawa, but what we do is to prune, because this is a fungal disease. Yeah. So if we make sure that the plant is well aerated, it's getting enough sunlight, then you kill the fungal. And then pruning also, removing it, it kills it completely. For castor plants, this is a castor, they grow everywhere, so they are not affected by diseases really. Yeah.
Let's talk about the market for silk.
Yeah.
If I get into this business and I'm able to produce silk, is there a very ready market locally for it?
I would say that silk is usually called the queen fabric, is it?
Yes, it does.
Because the production of silk fabric is a big process, yeah? But we can shorten it by using the span silk, which is a very short process. So the silk has market. There are those people who like quality things, yeah. It has market. We at ISIPA produce silk scarves, silk ties, and we get orders. So there is market for that.
All right.
So,
Yes. Great.
asante sana, unaeleza kwa undani kabisa. Tarejea vile vile tuzungumzie kama nipo kwa mfano katika eneo la Meru, nina uwezo wa kuwafuga, lakini tukirejea tunakwenda katika mapumziko kidunya. Kuna mengi ambayo yangalipo, usikwende popote.